Hey, it's the Odd Man. I am at an access to Weyerhauser lands. These are large forest lands in the West, and this one is very close to my house. They have a process for buying online recreational permits, and they have two kinds. They have a motorized one that allows you to drive in and open the gate. They give you keys or codes or something, and they have a non-motorized one, and I purchased the non-motorized version. Weyerhauser has huge properties in the West, and I bought the non-motorized access permit for $100. The motorized one is $300 per year. They allow camping for an extra fee, and they allow you to pick some forest products too. So I'm going to take my bike in here and see if we can find the fire lookout that's in here. Even though this is only 5 miles from my house, I considered riding my bike up here, but a lot of the roads are like this with no real good shoulder. There's no traffic either, but I just hate driving on the road under those circumstances. And not only that, but it saved me about 1,000 feet of elevation gain on bike climbing, so I'm not sure I was completely objective about that. One of the sad commentaries about our life, I guess, is that here I'm going out by myself in the woods, gravel roads, bicycle, all that sort of stuff, and my biggest concern on the whole trip is whether my car is going to be vandalized here at the end of this dead-end road. Well, I'm exactly 1 mile in is all, and I'm already lost. I'm looking at the map. I'm headed to Meridian Mountain, and I know there's an offshoot loop here, and I think that's what that is. I don't think this is actually a detour. I think that's a logging company's sign. So I'm going to continue straight ahead. The worst that's going to happen is I put in a few extra miles, you know? Should be good. Somebody else out here moving at my speed. This trip to Meridian Mountain is about 5 miles, and it is about 1,000 feet in elevation gain, which is a pretty good climb. I'm working for it, but the trip back will be fun. I think these tall weeds with the red stalks are fireweed. They're known for being one of the first plants to colonize after a fire, or in this case, logging. One thing I didn't anticipate, and I should have, is that these smooth tires are really not very good on the gravel. I'm almost at mile 6, and very close, it looks like, to the top of the mountain here. But I stopped because it looks like there's an old quarry of some sort here. And I was just thinking coming up here how much gravel is on this road. It's really in good shape. I guess not. It looks like I'm headed off in the wrong direction. So I'm going to go back to the main road. Go that way. I thought I was here when I was at the last intersection. This is why I was confused. So, keeping on, keeping on. There's a lot of these offshoots. The main road I was on sort of switched to a different number. Now I'm on this other track that has a little more windfall and some milk poop. Well, I'm at almost 7 miles. I'm past where the peak of the mountain is supposed to be, and this road is downhill the rest of the way. I've been looking through here. Thought it might be here to the northeast a little ways, but the summit of the mountain is back over here somewhere. I was pretty sure there'd be a road up to it. But at this point, I'm lost again. So I'm going to backtrack, go back to the last junction, which is just like 1/10 of a mile up here, and go the other way a little ways and see if I can see anything different. I've looked all along the skyline to see if I could see something that looked man-made. And here I'm back to that intersection. Let's go down there to the right a little ways. It scratched my head if I had one, but I appear to have lost it. Well, that's a little disappointing. I never did find a fire lookout. And as I sit here, I am at 2,200 feet, which is the elevation they claimed that fire lookout was at least on the one website I looked at. And you can see behind me, there might be a little more elevation gain back here, but not much. So, I don't know. I'm at the very highest point I could be. I'm gonna eat a snack and then head home. So just as I was leaving and riding out, I saw this little track through the trees. And so I rode my bike most of the way and then walked the last little bit. It's just a clearing here. And as I think about it, I think this one and the prior one I looked at are just landings for logs. You know, they put a tower here of some sort, and then they yard the logs up the hill and load them on the trucks here. So I think that's what this was. This was just a landing for logging. Because there's certainly no fire lookout here. That's for doggone sure. All right, well, that was 13.5 miles. My car escaped unscathed. It was a little of an adventure in that I went someplace I'd never been before and had to navigate with not great information. And even though I was unsuccessful in finding the fire lookout, I had a pretty good time and it was a great bike ride. And not only that, I'm done and I'll be home before noon. How's that for cool? The entire search for the fire lookout was based on this one website, which was obviously wrong. Thanks for watching. This is the Odd Man, out.